Falun Gong, illegal in China but not in New Zealand. So what is it about this movement that divides some in the Chinese community? And what does it have to do with basic human rights? Jemima with that story.
"365 days a year, rain or shine, Falun Gong protest outside the Chinese consulate in Auckland. They say when the persecution of Falun Gong in China ends, they will stop their protests. What is it about them that causes so much contention? So much contention, in fact, that at Auckland University, Chinese students stole 800 cracker magazines because of an advertisement for this performance. A performance which they felt promoted Falun Gong.
Well, it was a pretty shocking act. Stealing hundreds of crackers because someone didn't like some of the content, that hasn't happened for a number of years. So this was quite serious. I think they were trying to make sure that students did not have to see the ad. They felt they wanted to protect students from having to see the ad in the first place. They wanted to protect what they called the purity of AUSA. They didn't want Falun Gong associated with us in any way.
But this sentiment wasn't shared by the general student population.
I think they shouldn't censor it, but since it's free, that I suppose they can do it.
New Zealand now is like there's more and more Asian coming through, and businesses and stuff like that. So I think every race in New Zealand should have equal rights.
Yeah, it is wrong. I mean, it's just an advertisement. Free right, human rights, human speech, free speech.
So what is Falun Gong?
Falun Gong is a body and mind practice, a cultivation practice from the Buddhist school. You do simple energy exercises like Qigong. People know Tai Chi, very similar. And you follow truthfulness, compassion, forbearance in your day-to-day life.
Through the 5 gentle exercises, you can get very good healthy. For me, before I practiced Falun Gong, before 1996, my health is very bad. I always took medicines. After I practiced Falun Gong for nearly 12 years, all gone. I never take any medicine at all.
Falun Gong was banned in China in 1999. It has been alleged that what followed was the arrests, torture and persecution of Falun Gong practitioners, which Amnesty International confirms still continues.
Amnesty International has a long record of a level of persecution dating back from 1999 when Falun Gong as an organisation was first banned. They are disproportionately represented in detention centres, in re-education through labour camps. They are more likely to face torture there. And in 2005 there's been a crackdown, and since then there has been a stronger targeting of Falun Gong practitioners in China.
I think that what happened was that when it was introduced in 1992, it experienced what I would call exponential growth. By the Chinese Communist Party estimates, by about 1998, 70 million to 100 million Chinese were practicing this. I think a small faction of the Chinese Communist Party leadership, then headed by former Chinese Premier Jiang Zemin, became jealous, envious, resentful at the rapid growth, and sensing that they could not exercise total control of people's hearts and minds, initiated an unprecedented persecution.
It's the fundamental human rights, but the Chinese Communist Party doesn't allow any other beliefs except communism.
Stephen Ju, a Falun Gong practitioner, told Asia Downunder that he was persecuted in China for his beliefs.
They using the electric shock. They using the needle, 2 needles in each my leg, then connect a machine, something like a lower voltage but a high frequency. Just they turn on, off, repeat that I think more than 20 times. I just scream. That's what happened.
While there's no proof to confirm Stephen's story, Amnesty International has proof of the persecution of Falun Gong. However, The Chinese community is divided. Many approached by Asia Downunder did not feel comfortable discussing Falun Gong.
因为角度不同，看法不同。
没不是 no， 我不感兴趣那个。
No.
No. Nothing about it? You know nothing about it?
No, nothing about it.
Thank you.
And the Chinese Communist Party hasn't really enabled the Chinese people to learn the truth about Falun Gong. It's tried to project it as something bad, sinister. In fact, it's none of those things. It's a practice that's cultivated in 60 different countries by hundreds of thousands, millions of practitioners. That tells us that it's not Falun Gong which is the problem, but rather the Chinese Communist Party.
Asia Downunder have tried to contact the Chinese Consulate General for their opinion on Falun Gong. However, they have declined to respond. But their views are clear. These Falun Gong practitioners are believers of heretical ideas, according to the consulate's website. In the meantime, the students who stole the magazines are not facing criminal charges. The university has billed the students for costs incurred, but they have refused to pay.